Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. Wrapping up our reviews of the new battle carriers, we are on tiers in a domination match. We are top tier in the American legendary battle carrier, Louisiana, which, as you may have guessed, was just a figment of wargaming's imagination. The turret arrangement, yes, according to the notes I've read, the two triple turrets forward and the one quad turret to the rear was a legitimate turret arrangement, but I did not see anything talking about a flight deck on any Montana class battleship, of which this was supposed to be one. Going to wiki.wargaming.net, they say this was one of the options. They forgot the word allegedly for completing the Montana class battleships. A flight deck of at least 350 feet long is required, which could only be done by removing the third turret to preserve her combat power. Suggested to replace the fourth turret with a quadruple gun turret. So it's not really replacing the fourth turret. That would be just adding an extra gun onto it. Anyway, I didn't write that, and I don't believe most of it. So, anyway, we're in Louisiana. I'm going to warn you now, it is a very powerful ship. Where Are You, AA Ron, a couple of days ago, 5 days ago, posted a match, a loss, in which he got 362,709 total damage, a Kraken, and all the other medals. Pretty much. So it is a very, very powerful ship with a tremendous ability to do damage. Right there, we start off by doing damage using our airstrike. I think that was a Minnesota. It was spotted. I put out my planes and we damaged him. Here, I'm going to shoot my front two turrets at Minnesota, and we are going to get most of our damage points in the beginning off of the Minnesota. There is a pretty nice main battery hit, and we already have our epic artillery plotting room mod activated after one salvo. That's how much damage we did. All right, Worcester is out there. Worcester, you cannot go broadside to any legendary tier battleship, much less Louisiana. The salvo is out, the spotter plane is up, and the Montana, or the Worcester, goes back to the port. Citadel hit, Dev Strike, First Blood, killed number one. We are already over 75,000 damage here in Louisiana. Planes are about to reload. I don't trust the Ouija indicator. I'm going to do my own heading on the airplanes. And we're going to fire at Minnesota and do another one of these main battery salvo torpedo strike combos. And we're going to zoom in to see all those torpedoes go active right before making contact. We are almost over 110,000 damage at this point. And we are really at the beginning of the match. So the damage potential of these ships is, as the French would say, incroyable. All right, that guy's turning away. We'll put our focus back on Minnesota, going up towards the turrets and superstructure, and just going to see what happens here. We didn't aim far forward enough, so we are not going to get the kill, although he did disable his rear turret, which is virtually meaningless. But he is bleeding out. He dies. We are over 110,000 damage. You know, it would be tempting, but I'm going to go for the much closer target, a largely broadside Ohio. Folks, I didn't pay these people, but I can't help it if they go broadside to me. All right, we're going to aim for the front bow plate there, and I think we aimed that pretty well. Don't do a ton of damage, and that's unfortunate. We are waiting on our airplane to reload, so I'm going to move in. This is not really what I should be doing. My commander for this match is Azerlane, New Jersey. She rewards 10K plus salvos in terms of distance. We got our spotter plane or our airstrike out there. Now we're getting the broadside from Ohio, and he's not even aiming at me. So we're going to aim at the breadbasket and get a Citadel hit. We're at 145,000 damage. Here come the Torp's second kill, 158,000 damage. And just think, another 202,000 damage, and we can catch up to AA run. All right, I think that's another Ohio way out there. We're just going to head that way. There are other ships in this match, but this guy was kind of alone, and so I decided it would be a best use of my time to go after him. This is probably not the best aim salvo. I'm intent on leaving the cap because I don't want him to get cap defended flags any more than I have to. There already is the high caliber medal, 179,507 total damage. We are not done yet. All right. So at this point, we're just going to run down the Ohio. We're going to try to use our torpedo strikes from our airstrike and our main battery to do some damage here. Looks like he's slowing down, so I didn't lead him very much at all. I'm not sure that was a great idea because those shells appear to have totally missed, which is just an absolute shame. Undaunted, plane reloading. Again, we're going to tune that up, our own heading, not necessarily the one Ouija wants us to use. The Ohio's turning in here. I think it's going to help him a little bit, but it won't totally help him out. As you can see, I think he catches... Oh, maybe it didn't help him at all. He only dodged one, and then our main battery salvo didn't do a ton of damage. But we are at 210,000 damage, and we have a lot of health left. I mean, the blue team is waffle stomping the red team, but I could have kept going, you know, if there were more ships here. I'm just chewing up these ships as they come into range. Here we're going to try to go for the bow plating again. That was a pretty good hit at a bow plate that didn't have a chance to go into the Citadel. I'll take that. At this point, I know I'm going to kill this guy. It's just a matter of how rather than if, because he's just giving me way too much broadside. All right, turning to get the rear turret on target. We do get the rear turret on target, but I didn't do enough damage. Anyway, somebody else got the kill because he was on fire. We are at 226,746 total damage. Once my heal kicks in, I think I'll have about 55 to 58,000 health left. So clearly you can see, although there are only 2 red team ships left in this match, you know, if you'd give me another Ohio or any other legendary tier battleship at this point, I feel very confident I've mastered this playstyle of this ship enough to be able to easily take them out. All right, I think this is a Colombo. He is not in range yet. I'm checking my own range, and I'm just not going to lead him enough because of how far away he is. But this ship is tremendously powerful. My understanding is that it may come back as a free XP ship in a year. If you can afford to wait that long, or if you can't afford to purchase it right now, I would encourage you to wait until it was a GXP ship. Whether that happens or not, I don't know because I don't work for Wargaming. But it is a very powerful ship. And if you're one of the ships that I've used in this match, I'm sorry, but this thing is OP, and until they nerf it, I'm going to continue to use it. And you'll see what I mean about being OP when we go over the stats in the port. This may be my best performing battleship in the game at this point in terms of raw damage. So, you know, our team is about to wrap this all up. If you were on the fence and you've been getting Impendium or whatever the name of the special currency is, and you need to spend a little money to get over the hump, that's what I did. I encourage you to do that if you like what you saw here. Here on the victory screen, high caliber medal, first blood medal, dev strike medal, ended up with 226,747 total damage, 37 main battery hits, pardon the squeak, 18 torpedo strikes, And that's how you get the damage there. You mix those in. 2 kills, 4 hits to Citadel. We ended up 342,488 silver and 4,300 ship XP, 4,700 commander XP in Louisiana. All right. Is the video still running? Yes. Here we are at the top of the board. 3 medals, 2 big kills, 2839 base XP, leading the way for our team. Our team destroyed their team. I destroyed the part of their team that I faced. Not that I did it all alone, but the damage numbers speak for themselves in the ship. Hayate, pretty good game there, backing me up. Carl Johan also chipped in. So, I mean, usually in a match like this, you have some very strong players on your team. All right. I should have edited this out, but I am too dumb to do that. So, we're going to start doing a port review, but I'm not going to talk right now because Wargaming Interruptus is about to happen. And let me tell you, I just cannot stand Wargaming Interruptus. It drives me absolutely bonkers that they do this when you're in the port like that. Just do it right after the match or don't do it at all. All right, here in the port, looking at the mods, we got AA Guns Mod 2, Damage Control System Mod 2, Concealment System Mod 1, and Artillery Plotting Room Mod 2, and the Epic Mod, as you saw there in the match. Definitely worth an Epic Mod here. Taking a look at the loadout, 3 charges of the Repair Party, and 3 charges of the Observation Seaplane, which I call the Spotting Plane, because that used to be the name. Epic Battle Booster, 4 main battery range and movement speed, and it also reduces the cooldown time. Standard Permanent Camouflage. Why isn't that a Type 9 camouflage? And the unique Towards the Skies flag. This is the only premium battle carrier right now, so that is the only ship I'm going to run this on. So that's what the new flag looks like. It's in the calendar. 96,300 hit points, 37% torpedo damage reduction with our build. Our aircraft is the Douglas BTD, plane I'm not immediately familiar with. They have 5,000 hit points, 3 planes per attack unit. Each plane drops 2 torpedoes. The torpedo max damage is 7,600. They have a 2.4 kilometer range, and they travel at 55 knots. The artillery, as described, 2 triple 406 millimeter turrets to the front, 1 quad 406 millimeter turret to the rear. 19.4 kilometer firing range, 30-second reload, 32.7-second turn time. HE shells, 5,700 max damage with a 36% fire chance. AP shells, 15,065 max damage. Your 10 twin 127 millimeter secondaries, 5 kilometer firing range, 4-second reload, 1,800 HE shell damage with a 9% fire chance. Usually these twin 127s have a 6-second reload, so you get a couple extra seconds there, and that is a very good thing, in my opinion. All right, in a second here, we're going to move on to the AA defense. This ship has fantastic AA, and I would never advise using the fighter plane. Your best AA, the 76.2 millimeter Mark 33 twin emplacements. You have 16 of those. They do 446 damage per second. Your longest reaching AA is your dual purpose secondaries, which reach out to 6.2 kilometers. And if you put more into the AA in terms of your commander build, you're going to get more benefit. Maneuverability, 28.7 knots with our build. 950 meter turning circle, 18.6 second rudder shift time. That is affected by my commander skill choices. And concealment, 13.7 on the surface, 11.5 from the air, 15.4 if you end up in a smokescreen, which you probably won't. All right, take a look at the stats. 16 matches played. We have a losing winning percentage. Main battery accuracy, just 40%. Average damage per battle, 1.1 kill-death ratio. Our average damage per battle, 107k. So the floor for this ship is over 100k. That's pretty nice. The average, I mean. Highest battle achievements, We had a game with 3 kills. We had a game where we shot down 54 aeroplanes. We had a game where our max XP was 3,173. But you wanted the damage, you got the damage. That is our battle achievements there. So, I mean, if your average result is over 107,000 damage, that's a pretty strong ship, in my opinion. Mileage may vary. All right. Here's the armor viewer. We don't have water, but I'm guessing because of that armor belt a little heavier at the top of the T there, that is a partially above the waterline armor belt. Obviously, it's got that heavy front and heavy rear and light from above. But I think it's just at the waterline and above. 32 millimeter forend of the bow there. Turrets on barbettes. Again, turret faces are sloped, heavily armored. Barbettes are heavily armored down into the casemate. So that is a great turret profile. The rear of the rear turret is more heavily armored, probably for balance issues. Again, it's a paper ship that didn't exist, so maybe they just did that to do it. All right, putting the casemate armor on. Eventually, I will get to a 409 millimeter armor belt. There it is. Torpedo side plating is below that armor belt, so you aren't really going to get a spaced armor effect from that. Probably because it would make the ship too powerful. Anyway, the auxiliary room armor includes a 38 millimeter flight deck, which is not a shock to anyone who's watched any of the other videos. That's the armor profile of Louisiana. Taking a look at the commander. Azure Lane, New Jersey, base rate freedom through firepower, main battery shells that travel over 10 km do extra damage. We have got Cunningham for shell grouping and Ciliax for shell damage. Row 1, flammable cannoneer will give up the fire chance. I think it's worth it. Row 2, gyrating drill bits, that is the hit to the speed, but again, AP shell damage. Firefighter, the unique skill, don't you just love it? More damage with Citadel strikes and a decrease in dispersion. Very valuable skill. And of course, fight fire with fire. Anyway, that is the Louisiana. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe down below. I will see you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for watching.